In addition to the great support from our board, we're of course fortunate to have generous sponsors who make this event possible. And since 2012, there's really been one sponsor who's led the way, and that's the Pritzker Military Museum and Library in Chicago. Also the Pritzker Military Foundation, the Tawani Foundation, all of which are led by Colonel Jennifer Pritzker. And they've really made a significant impact on this international conference and really helped us reach new audiences and attract the world's best World War II experts that we heard today and that you will enjoy over the next few days. I just had the pleasure actually of attending the Pritzker Military Museum and Library's Liberty Gala in Chicago a few weeks ago. And if you have not attended that, or if you have not visited the museum and library, I highly recommend it on your next trip to Chicago. It's a wonderful facility. They have wonderful programs, and it's just a great institution and one that we're proud to partner with. In addition to the regular activities of the Pritzker Military Museum and Library, they recently also served as the founding sponsor of the U.S. World War I Centennial Commission, and you've probably seen some of these educational events in your own communities across the country. That was made possible through their generosity. And very recently, they've made another incredibly significant contribution to this museum. They've committed to be the leading sponsor of the museum's efforts to digitize what I count as our most precious asset, and that's our collection of World War II veteran oral histories. Along with their support, we look forward to bringing these nearly 10,000 accounts to the public in new and innovative ways in the future. And tonight we're very fortunate. We have with us Megan Williams, who is the Director of External Affairs at the Pritzker Military Museum and Library. And with that, I'd like to invite Megan to come up to the stage and make a few remarks. Thank you, Megan.
Hello and good evening. I'm honored to be here today in celebration of the 11th International Conference on World War II, a conference dedicated to engaging on topics that have fascinated historians and the public for decades. In my role as the Director of External Affairs for the Pritzker Military Museum and Library, I'm tasked to plan programs of a similar nature. So I first want to thank all of the staff and volunteers who've spent years and months perfecting this conference. The attention to detail, they make it look so easy while making it so welcoming. And I thank them for all of their hard work. The Pritzker Military Museum and Library, through the Pritzker Military Foundation, has been a proud partner of this conference for many years, as well as a number of other projects with the National World War II Museum, as Stephen mentioned. And we plan to continue to support this premier educational gathering for the years to come because it helps us fulfill our mission to help educate the public on the importance of the study of military history and affairs. It is important to study military history because it's an effective way to learn about human tendencies and thought processes. And because World War II was the most seminal war in human history, many would argue that it offers more insight about human nature than any other war. World War II forced militaries and economies into evolving, changing individuals' mindsets about government and society, and calling into question the benevolence of humanity itself. The study of military history is simply the study of history. And by partnering with the premier institution dedicated specifically to the study of World War II, together we can help ensure important scholarly research on the Second World War has a platform for study and debate. And all of you here attending this conference are an important part of that process. Thank you, and I hope you all have a wonderful and enlightening experience over the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you, Megan. We're incredibly grateful for your sponsorship, and please pass along our thanks to Colonel Pritzker, John Schwan, and Susan Rifkin, and all of our friends in Chicago.